Hello. Hopefully this is working. I say that at the start of everything. Happy Sunday. Right. What have I got to do? Oh, some of this is already done. Check the live page. Yes, I've checked it, but it's broken. I've got this new live page, paper.com/live, which in theory, I should stop saying that. I listened back to one of the videos and I say in theory far too much. If everything works, then that link should work, but it doesn't. That works. Owncast. That one doesn't. I think I've got the URL broken there. And that one works as well. Look, there's a meta, me scrolling. That's good. I actually created this so I can just post one link online and it takes you to all of the places and you can choose how you want to watch. But I've managed to mess up the YouTube link, so I need to add a to-do list item to fix that. Probably do that first, I think. Oh look, I've mentioned the live page, so I could tick that off as done. Fix YouTube link. Somehow, I've told people, I've posted it everywhere. Stream works, and I started it. Testing seems to work. I know, I should post this. The one place I didn't is the Linux Matters Telegram channel, which I'm not going to put on screen. Right. So that's done. How's everyone's day? I hope you're doing well. I am doing fine. I've got some things to do today. Testing Owncast is one of them, and it looks like it's working. It says it's streaming. It says playback health is good. I'd love to hear from anyone who's testing the Owncast. I think we are testing. So I think it's done because according to the stats, it's working. It's generating a stream, and somewhere over here, you can see it there. Like it's working, so that's good. Hurrah! I do need to do that though. Let me just save that and update my my silly to-do list. There we go. That's all up to date. Looking good. So the things I wanted to do today, well, that has jumped to the top of the list because that's broken. I don't know why. So the link, I'll just have to edit that. Talk about Stream Spout, and then I've got some stuff I want to do on my. Let me find the machine. I've got a ThinkPad T450 on the desk next to me. You can't see that, but it is there. And in fact, I can show you. Here is a screen, and if I wiggle the mouse, there you go. So it is a it's a ThinkPad T450. And if I go up to settings, somewhere up here, about, that's the one, isn't it? There you go. It's called Precise Pad. And it's a standard T450, 32 gig of RAM, i7. It's a decent enough machine that can actually do stuff. So I'm going to use it to do some stuff. Hopefully, if it works, we shall see. So that's that. I'm going to do some stuff like improve the font because it's using the Ubuntu font. I kind of like this font now, which is what you're seeing here. I want to put Podman on there because I want to learn how to use Podman. I've already got Docker on my laptop, but I want to try Podman on that one. And then I want to test out StreamSprout as a pod container, I guess. I don't know. And I also need to install QuickMU because I want to take a look at QuickTest. So, start. Let's fix the YouTube link. So, this link here is broken. I followed a guide that I thought would give me, a working thing. That should be my channel, I think. Like, if you do that, does it? No. Okay. So how do we get the channel ID? I don't know what the channel ID is. Okay, is there some other way I can get it? If anyone knows, let me know. How do you get the channel ID? I have a feeling it's like buried in the settings somewhere. Oh my god, why do I want to use... I don't want to use an API, I just want to... UC plus your account ID. Oh. Let me see if I can find that somewhere. So, YouTube, somewhere in YouTube settings land. I'm not going to show you this, just in case I reveal stuff I shouldn't. Where is it? Has the music stopped? Yes. Why is this not playing? Weird. So how do I find that? I found a GitHub issue, not a GitHub issue, a Stack Exchange thing earlier that had how to find it, and I'm having real trouble finding it now. No, I don't want to press that. Don't press that. Press the wrong button. That was close. So if I go to your channel, is this not live on YouTube? Is that, have I messed up and it's actually not live? What? I don't understand what's going on here. Hello people in Twitch. Galleague81. Hello. Is the audio really low? I don't know why that would be. Because it's like booming in... let me turn it up. Right, there. I've turned up my mic quite a bit. The mic is in... The music is intentionally low. It's just like lo-fi stuff in the background. Let me know if that's improved things. I've twiddled the dials a little bit. Sorry about that. Thanks. So how do I get my channel live stream link to fit in there? And why is YouTube just being really weird? Watching from mobile, so I don't have a good reference. Ah, okay. That's interesting. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. I'm trying not to let the microphone to get too far into the like red zone on OBS. I'm going to turn everything up a bit because I did have mentions last time that actually said it was different and that one of them was a lot quieter than the other. And I don't know why that would be. So weird. I don't know if I don't know of any settings inside Twitch. YouTube did not work. What is going on? I mean, it is live on YouTube, but wonder why it's not like if I go to my YouTube studio, you should see it. Latest live stream, content, live, and it should be here, unlisted. Genius. Wonder if that's why. 0 views, that'll be why. Maybe. So it says it's live. Maybe that's worked. Who knows? I guess refreshing this. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's all it was. Right. You know what I should do is I should add. Is that today's? Yes, it is. That is me. Look, if I wave. Will it? Yes. That's really meta, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the live page works. All I need to do is add a thing. When I do check live, I've got to check that YouTube is not unlisted. That's the thing. Right, so I have a note down here to update the template. And one of the things I need to do is clearly make sure YouTube is public, not unlisted. Well, I'm glad we solved that. That's the first thing on the list. Winning. Thank you, everyone. So that's good. Right. What's next? So that's that done. Boom. The link was fine. Stream Sprout. Oh, yes. So this is the thing that I'm using that's streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Owncast at the same time. So all three of these are coming from here, but I'm only sending one stream out. And that's thanks to this Stream Sprout that Martin created. And I just wanted to mention it because I think last time or the time before I did a stream, I found a bug in Stream Sprout, and Martin's fixed that and he's done a new release. So the latest release, 0.1.5, is up to date, and that's what I'm using right now. And it works, clearly, because it's sending to all three places. So that's great. And it's really straightforward. You just configure it with a simple YAML file, put your stream keys in there, and then send your data to Stream Sprout, and Stream Sprout sends it on to those whatever destinations. He's listed there: Owncast, PeerTube, YouTube, Twitch. I think it supports basically anything that is RTMP, supports RTMP streams. It should just work with a key. So, other platforms may work. I haven't tested other platforms. Today's the first time I've done an actual Owncast stream, and it appears to be holding up. So that's good, which is awesome. I just wanted to mention Stream Sprout. I'll put the link in the chat, as they say. Excellent. Oh, interesting. Audio. Marion says audio on YouTube is higher than that on Twitch. I need to figure that out. I don't know why that is. I should add that to my to-do list. I'll pick from that at some point. Why audio? Someone suggested it could just be, the fact that they'd use different encoders, different settings. But I'm looking at the screen and I only have one stream and I only have one microphone and it's all going out. And as far as I'm aware, Stream Sprout doesn't modify the stream at all. It literally just resends it out different places. So there's something weird with each of those platforms. So that's good. I can redraw that now, can't I? Because it looks much better with ticks all the way down. I could probably get rid of that as well. The stream starting soon, given it's very well already started. There we go. So next is spruce up the T450. So the T450 is sat next to me on the desk, and I could probably do most of this over SSH. And so if I SSH into it, there we go. I'm SSH'd in. Oopsie. I should probably update this thing and then figure out what I'm going to do next. I'm not going to reboot it. I'll just do me updates. Right. Good. So what was I going to do? I was going to install this font, Iosevka. I don't know how to pronounce that. So I need to install that. And the reason why I want to install that is because I kind of prefer it. Is this the term one? Download fonts. Do I really want to do that here? No. I don't really want all of them. I only want the... Good Lord. Term. Dot. Oh, there we go. Is that... yeah, that looks up to date, doesn't it? Ooh, package TTC. What is that? Package TTC. I don't think that's relevant. Oh, TTF. Ah, that's what I want. I want the TTF. So I want... Is that the... Are they unhinted? Don't want the web font. Super DTC, whatever that is. Well, where's that? There we go. Package TTF. That's the one I want, isn't it? So, if we grab that, how do you install fonts on Linux these days? Also, audio lags behind video on Twitch a split second. It's in sync on YouTube, but nothing terrible. Weird. How bizarre. I don't think I have any... I haven't got any settings in OBS that have, like, fiddled audio. So I guess I need to do something... Audio lags behind video on Twitch a split second. Okay. So let's add that to my to-do list for later. I don't know if I'll get that. Audio is different per platform. And different volume. Also lags on Twitch. I don't know why that is. So a suggested pronunciation. Josefka. I don't know. That font. I like that one. So I'm going to put that one on there. USB soft drive says, oh yes, I need to remind myself to wake up. Yeah. It's on the to-do list, you know. So, yeah. Step one of any successful day is wake up. In theory. Silent on YouTube says you may never get parity with audio between stream platforms since everyone has a different connection latency. Anyway, this is true. I don't know what the audio is like on Owncast. I haven't tested that. 1 of 5 viewers may be experiencing some issues, it says. Playback health 84%. Ooh, I don't know what that means. Troubleshoot. There's a button that lets me troubleshoot the health of the video stream, and it appears to be wobbling all over the place. I don't know if I can show this. Can I? Yeah, I probably can. While the laptop is doing updates. So this is my Owncast server. 84% playback health. I wonder what that means. So, video significant download. This is all very new to me. If you see slow downloads, you just offer a lower quality. Yeah, I've only got one quality. I haven't created like a low bitrate, medium, and high. I should probably do that. That's a investigate multiple streams on OwnCloud. I keep saying OwnCloud, but it's Owncast. I know it's possible to do, and I know the documentation tells you how to do it. I'm pretty sure. No, I want the actual docs, not the Git repo. Docs. Yeah, there's a bit about content delivery networks and resources and requirements, and yeah, how you can like optimize this kind of stuff. And I haven't optimized this at all. So yeah, it's a bit about stream performance and stuff, and yeah, all good. I'll look at that, but not right away. But I appreciate the feedback. Thank you, everyone. It's back up to 100 again. So what does that say? Recent playback errors. Okay. Ugh, that doesn't look good. Okay, well, I'll need to investigate that, won't I? I'll do a dedicated thing for that, I think. Maybe just stream there and not stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time as that. Evening, Moriarty. Right, so is that still chugging away? Golly. No, it's finished. Excellent. Right, so if I go to downloads and we grab that. So I think I'm currently using the Ubuntu font. Can you install fonts on the terminal these days? I guess it's just copy it to .fonts or something, isn't it? I can never remember. Good Lord, that's a lot of fonts. I think I want the regular one. Oh, they all just in this directory. Great. Is that just a regular medium there? I think it's that one is the one I've used elsewhere. I don't think I have a .fonts. I could do it the normal way. Yeah, let's do it the normal way. The way normal human beings do it, which is if I go to the laptop itself, there's not a lot on this machine. And somewhere in here, oh my God, there's so many. Be interested to know what this desktop looks like on the stream, because I did have earlier on, it was looking a little bit blurry. And I'm capturing it through a video capture device. I've got no idea what it looks like on your end. So it was the iOS. Oh my God. Oh, I've just remembered something else. I want to have Alacrity. Oh my gosh. I need to put that on there. I've just put that in my notes. I know you can't see that, but I did. There it is. That one, that font, this one, that one there. Right, that's the one. Nice. Let's install that. How do we install Alacrity on Linux? So I'll do that next, and then I'll set the font in there. Alacrity Linux. I can't remember how I installed it on my other systems. I don't think I used any of this. How did I install it? Let's have a look. if I SSH to Ziggy, which is the ThinkPad that's behind me, Dude at 042 says the desktop looks a bit blurry, a bit artifacty. I like that. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think this capture device is should be up to the job. And in OBS, it is set to 1080. But even to me here, it looks like it's compressing it. And I don't understand why. But I'll have to look at that another time. Right, so that font's installed. I want to see how how did I install in that? Oh, ha! Interesting. Okay, well, I didn't realize I'd installed it with a snap. Okay, so this is the ThinkPad. Oh my god. This is why it's a bad move for me to keep switching between this Mac keyboard and that ThinkPad keyboard, because my fingers are like slightly off when I do it and I just can't type. But sudo snap install. There we go. Hello, Total OS today. How are you doing? I'm hardly a ThinkPad master. There are only two in my vicinity right now. That one behind me in the corner and the one on my desk. So I should need to stop saying that. It should be in the menu. I should have Alacrity in here. Oh, there it is. Boom. Okay, so I like Alacrity. And I need to tell it what font to use, which I'm just going to copy and paste from. Have I got an Alacrity config here? Let me, on Ziggy, I do not. I have one here though on the Mac. There we go. And all I really need is the font size. Right. So let's create one of those on the ThinkPad. It's interesting. While I love Alacrity, the fact it has no graphical configuration whatsoever, and you have to edit a TOML file, which is actually quite easy to mess up, is the only thing that makes me a little bit sad about using it. But I see why, you know, and I don't think they will ever allow a graphical configuration. I've also got a whole load of themes. I could copy those across, but it looks like I'm not even... Oh, I am. I'm using Chicago 95, which is this theme that I'm using here. I could send these over. I think I might actually, but for now, all I need is, let's just whoop that lot and plop that over here like that. As you can see, I've been trying out different fonts. These are the fonts I've been trying out on my laptop. Some of them are pretty nice. This one is wild. Look, I think I could dynamically switch to it. Like if I just do this and then write that file out. Oh, well, that's a shame. I thought that would Am I editing the right? No, it's because I'm editing that one. That's why. That was close. Right, edit the correct file, Alan. All right, over here, if we edit the TOML file on my actual machine that I'm sat at, you'll see the horror show that is the VT323 nerd font. Are you ready? Blech. Martin was trying to get me to use this. Well, he wasn't. He was using it, and I'm like, no. I mean, it's retro, and yeah, okay, it looks like a DEC VT terminal, but no, I can't cope with that. So another one I quite like is Blex Mono, which is it's the IBM Plex Mono font. It's this Plex Mono font, which is nice, modified to have all the little glyphs added in this Nerd Fonts package, so that you get all the little glyphs that can be shown within a terminal. Like, so, that little Apple logo in the corner, and when I'm on Ubuntu, there'll be an Ubuntu logo, I imagine, and the little padlock and these arrows and stuff like that comes from those Nerd Fonts. And Blex Mono is one of the patched fonts. It's IBM Plex Mono. I quite like that. What was Fixed Sys? This was another one Martin was playing with, I think. No, VT323 is my favourite, the one I was trying, and Fixed Sys is the one Martin was playing. This is the one Martin was playing with, and I was like, no thank you. No thank you very much. And I tried this one as well, which was like a DEC terminal, and it does remind me of a DEC, a retro DEC terminal, but can't quite. Nope. So anyway, we're going to go with this one. So I'm back to that. I also should probably copy that across. I should probably just copy this entire config across. This is where, if Martin was here, he'd be saying, well, if you were using Nix, the config would be, synchronized between your machines or something. I really should. I should just copy all of this over to this machine and not mess about with copying and pasting. So let's do it. So let's scp.config alacrity.toml over to precisepad.local:_.config, something like that. Right, that's done. And so this now has one. Good. And I also need to copy those themes over. So scp. Where are they? They're just in .config alacrity. So I could just copy that lot. scp-r over to there. Room. Excellent. So I will then have my font that I like and my theme that I like on the ThinkPad. God, this is a bit slow, given these two machines are sat next to each other. I think it's going via my VPN. Pretty certain it's going via the VPN. I could probably have done this a lot faster by just sending a zip file, but hey ho. So if we get the ThinkPad up, that's what Alacrity looks like at the moment. It hasn't reloaded because I think the dynamic reload option isn't enabled, and it will be once this config loads. I think, maybe. But the config is still copying, so while that copies. Oh my gosh, this is taking ages. Why is this taking so long? Well, while that copies, I will update my to-do list because I have started sprucing this. I have installed that. And I have installed that. Oh, I want to install Powerline as well. It's done. Great. So let's flick back to the ThinkPad. If I kill that, and then rerun Alacrity. Sorry if my mic goes quiet when I'm away at the other keyboard. Hey! Look at that. Enormous font for the hard of eyes. Actually, I also... Have I got this set on dark mode or not? Oh, it is dark style. It doesn't feel very dark. No, it's not. There you go. Bob. That's better. Nice. Okay, so the ThinkPad is now... I realise that font is enormous. There's a good reason for that. Because I've got it set to font size 24, which is what I use on this machine when I'm streaming so that you can read the text. That's why. It's a good idea. On here, I might not need it quite that big. So I might change that down to, like, I don't know, 18 or something. That's better. That's much better. Right. So, Alacrity done. Powerline was the other thing I wanted to do. And I think that's in the repository. Powerline. Powerline utils extra. Home plug what? No, that's not what I want. Fonts Powerline. Okay. Yeah, I think I need Powerline and Fonts Powerline. Symbols font. Yeah, let's get that. Powerline git status. Sudo apt install Powerline and Fonts Powerline. Does it get enabled by default or not? So if I close that and then open Alacrity again, do I get Powerline? Have I got any source code on here? No, it doesn't do it by default. So I suspect there is some nonsense that I need to put in the bash RC. Yeah. Is this not... I guess deb packages can't fiddle around with stuff in your home directory. So what I could do is I basically just copy this chunk from down the bottom. See what I mean about switching keyboards from one and the other? I think it's just like the bottom. Yeah, it is. There we go. Ooh, Atuin. Yes, I need to put that on there as well. Oh gosh, this to-do list. Does anyone else use Atuin? Am I the only one who uses Atuin? It's amazing. I'm not going to do this right now. Actually, because reasons. So that can go on the future things I do. So I've installed Powerline, but I need to configure it, which is basically sticking all of that in the bottom of Precise Pads. All the way down here. Boom, done. So in theory, that should be it. So if we switch back to the old ThinkPad and then close and relaunch Alacrity. Oh, yes. There you go. If I do a git checkout, must be test. There we go. It updates. Nice. Cool. What was next on my list? Podman. I don't know how to do that. No idea. So let's switch back to here and get Podman installed once I figure out how to install Podman. I found the documentation here. Download the Podman installer. Hang on, that's Mac OS and Windows. Installing on Linux. Linux distributions. Alpine, CentOS, Debian, Fedora, Gentoo, OpenSUSE. Way down the bottom. In the official repos. Well, golly. That's easy then, isn't it? So we're on the precise pad. And actually, if I SSH back in, I should get Powerline. Yes! Excellent. This is all good news. Dude42 says, always wanted to try a 2-in, never got around to it. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I'm not going to show you because I am scared that my bash history has a whole ton of stuff that I really shouldn't have on a stream. So I am absolutely resisting pressing Control-R to show my history on this machine because I don't know if I've exported some environment variables and not, done it cleanly. So I'm not going to do that. But yes, you should use a 2-in. It's great, especially to synchronize, because I've got 6 machines I use on a regular basis, and synchronizing the command lines between them, the history between them, is just a joy, especially when I switch between them quite a lot, which I do. Yes, do it. It's ace. It's one of my favorite things. What was I doing? Podman. Is this really 24-point text? It is. I use that Teapot Coles to tell me how many columns I've got on screen at the moment. And 160 for me is like the right amount for when I'm streaming. If this font looks too small, then tell me and I can zoom it in a bit. But that feels about right for most of my streams. So, here goes nothing. This is all new to me. I mean, I didn't really use Docker in anger until like the last 2 or 3 months of my new job, where like there's a lot of Docker, and a lot of like customers use Docker, and the whole purpose of the tool that we work on is to scan container images, which are a lot of the time Docker, but it can also be like Kubernetes and stuff. But that's work, and it's Sunday, and I'm not doing work today. So golly. Is there like a hello world for I have installed Podman. Oh, that was the hello world I was going to test was StreamSprout actually. So on the precise pad, I usually keep all my source code in a folder called source, or if it's my work machine, like this MacBook, I keep it slightly differently. I have personal and work. It's a bit rubbish. I don't know really good ways to organize my files, so I just do it like that. But on the precise pad, because I'm not really going to be using that for work, I don't think. So I just put everything in source, and then I put a directory for what it is, where I got the source from. There we go. So I usually use the person's like GitHub or GitLab name for the next in the hierarchy. And then I clone whatever it is. Ooh. Now that's interesting, because this is a new machine. My SSH key isn't on there. So let's just clone with HTTP and not SSH, because I haven't got I don't think this even has an SSH key, and I have to decide whether I'm going to do that. So let's just clone it with HTTP. And so in the README, Oh, I haven't got Glow on here either. Oh my gosh, that's another thing I need to install. Glow. I don't know if you guys use Glow. Glow is amazing. Glow is the thing that I use that you see when I first start the stream. It's just a command line markdown viewer. What's it called? Notes. So yeah, Glow is what makes this nice pretty color. Like if you just cat it, like boring, black and white, boring. But Glow makes it look nice and it colors everything and makes links look nice. So yeah, Glow is nice. Do I have Glow on Ziggy? I have the snap of Glow. So if I've got the snap of Glow there, then I may as well install it here. Boom. Because I want to make Wimpy's README look gorgeous. There we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Martin, come on. That README's a bit much, isn't it? Right. But it looks lovely, doesn't it? With Glow. It's just amazing. Moriarty says, I have the stream in a window, not full screen. The terminal text is comfortably readable, slightly larger than the Twitch text chat. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback. I really appreciate that. Ah, interesting. Is the video buffering? Use the low latency toggle. So, can Glow recognize GitHub, GitLab favor? Can it recognize? Oh, flavor. Oh, okay. I understand. I don't know. Shall we find out? Oh, there won't be a man page, will there? I wonder if it's just like generic markdown or whether it has, you know, oh, you can have config files. With pizzazz. Where does Glow come from? I can't remember. It's charm bracelet. That was it. I love the fingernails. Brilliant. Let's have a look. Does it render markdown? Oh, that's the other thing that I didn't show you. You could just run Glow like that, and then it'll find all the markdown files in the folder, and then you could like pick them. Oh, it's just so nice. Anyway, yeah, I love Glow. Word wrapping, paging, styles. No, the config file. I don't know. Is there any mention of GitLab in here? No. GitHub might be a tricky one. Render streamed input. Not displaying styles. I don't know. I don't know what the specifics of GitLab and the GitHub ones are. It's a great question, but I don't know, and it doesn't seem obvious from flicking through this whether it does or not. I don't know. What's a good example of something that's GitHub specific? Oh, things like container blocks that like you open up, stuff like that. I don't know. Worth looking into. But we are being distracted again. I was looking at Podman. Not there. There. Somewhere in here, there is, you know, this would be easier given I've got Docker and Podman. So, what I wanted to do, like I can just pull straight from this container repository, but I could also build it, couldn't I? If you've already pulled the container image, you could run like that. If you've not pulled built, you can run Stream Sprout with this. Build the container image. That's the one I wanted. So let's just test Podman by doing, I assume I could just do Podman. Is it symlinked? No. So can I just do Podman and then what is it? Podman build -t. Or is there some different? Good Lord. Okay. Error creating build container. Potentially insufficient UIDs or GIDs available in user namespace. What? Okay. Cannot find UID GID for user Alan. No. Check rootless mode in man pages. Oh. So I guess this is in the Podman documentation, right? There's something I have to do that I didn't do. Podman installation. Right. So I've installed Podman. Is there anything else here that... This is all just getting it, isn't it? There's nothing about... Anyone else use Podman? Hello, Cubicle Nate. How you doing? You're looking for a WYSIWYG editor for writing files or wiki pages for GitLab repositories. There are apps like Apostrophe, but eventually found Ghostwriter from KDE. A WYSIWYG for writing. For some reason it's got 3 little stars there. I don't know what's going on there. On Linux. Please add name change. Troubleshooting guide. Rootless Podman needs to create a user namespace for multiple IDs around. Blah blah blah. I empathise with you, deleted GitHub user. I've never used Podman before. No idea whether I want this or not. This is a beginner Podman user that is probably trampling a path that I'm about to trample as well. Oh good, there's documentation in the Arch Wiki. This seems specific to Arch Linux. Sorry, I have many other fish being fried. What on earth? Did you do a Podman system migrate? I did. That's manually. Now it works. A friendly reminder that this has had no issue. It's not solved. I just stopped trying Podman. Went back to Docker. Right. All those people who just kept saying to me on the internet that, oh, just install Podman, it's exactly the same. Right. Is there a Ubuntu specific Podman Ubuntu? Is there anything on Ask Ubuntu? Can I search? How do you search on this thing? I never search. You just ask, don't you? Oh, yes, up there. Is it that? I'm sure people are shouting at the screen, telling me there is an easy way to do this. But the fact that, like, I've installed a package from the repository, and this suggests I can just do this. I'm a newbie. I don't know what I'm doing. By default, process and Podman containers run with the same user namespace as the caller, i.e. containers are not isolated. Rootless Podman relies on the unprivileged user namespace, which has some serious security implications. Yay! By default, only root is allowed to run containers. Running rootless improves security. Okay. Used to run rootless. Configuration must exist for each user that wants to use it. New users have these entries by default. Okay. Migration for users created prior to Shadow whatever version. Is Shadow a package? Check those two files, etc. If users created prior to that do not have entries in etc subuid and etc subgid by default, an entry can be created with user mod. So, do those files exist on my Ubuntu system? They exist. And they are both empty, so there are not entries. Following command enables username, user, and group to run Podman containers. It allocates a given range. Okay. The given range for username may already be taken by another user. Unlikely. Well, there are no other users because I'm the only user on this system. So, Arch, we're not managed by home D. Rootless Podman uses a pause process to keep the unprivileged entities. This prevents being propagated. Okay, let's try this first. And we do that as root for my user. Does that mean those files have now got something in them? Yes, it does. Hurrah! If you want real, maybe you should have tried a bunch of random commands from various posts by this time. Yes. This is true. I am leveraging the power of community by using the awesome Arch Wiki. Which is great. Okay, does that mean I can now just go back to doing what I tried? Check that if configured locally and run Podman system migrate. So I still have to run the Podman system migrate. Is that what you're saying? Propagate changes. This prevents any change from being propagated to the rootless containers. For these changes to be propagated, it's necessary to run. After this, the user group specifying the above files is able to start and run Podman containers. Okay, so yes, I think I've read that correctly, and I need to now do that. Okay, so in theory, I can now do that again. Well, we didn't get those errors. Great success. Well, I mean, that looks like success. What now? So I've built a container. Where did it go? Is it like it's an image, isn't it? Podman image list. Yes. Right. Okay. So we have an image. There's nothing running, is there? No. Can I do Podman run? Run? Or is it deploy? Podman. What would you normally do? You'd do run. If you've already pulled the container image, you can run stream sprout with. Okay. So let's assume we've run it. Podman run. So there's a port there that it wants open. Let's see what happens if we just do this. Podman run. Port 1935. That's the RTMP port. What does IT do? I can't remember. I haven't got Podman installed anyway, so I can't do it. Oh, right. Podman? Is that a thing? Is IT a thing? I vaguely know what this is. I've used it. Oh, man. Is anyone shouting at me in chat? I means interactive, T means allocated TTY. Thank you. Interactive. Okay, so that doesn't just launch it and then walk away. It's interactive. Okay, and that makes sense for this because, thank you, I appreciate that. So Podman run -p 1935 minus IT. So it's going to be interactive because this is an interactive application. It constantly writes to the terminal. Minus V. I don't know what V, verbose, I guess. And then all of that. Should we see what happens? This makes sense because it's correct, and it's mounting my current directory, which is where I am in this directory, as data in there. Right. So the problem is that YAML file doesn't exist, but there is a sample one. If we go copy streamsprout.yaml.example to streamsprout.yaml and then edit that, there we go. So everything I'm going to set to, well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to set it to true. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to connect to anything because I'm not going to send any data into this. Good. So if I do that Podman run again, yes. Oh, yes. V means map outside, inside, other. V means map outside /path to inside /other. Oh, I see. So that's saying map this, which is this, into there inside the container. So this is the outside folder and that's the inside folder, which is why and that's the name of it, I guess. That's why data streamsprout.yaml is my current directory, streamsprout.yaml. That makes total sense. I appreciate the hints there. Thank you very much. Right, so that works. I have successfully built a container and run it. Hey, you know what we could do? Just to get a little bit of work, thrown in here. I could run. Let's try. Right, let's go to our nodes. Right, we've installed that. Great success. I'm going to add a couple of things here for fun. Install sift and gripe and yeah, that'll do. Right, run sift and gripe against stream sprout image. This will be fun. So sift and gripe, these are work related things. There's gripe, there's sift, and they ship as binaries. There's an installer script, a curl pipe to bash job, which I'm going to use on this machine. It's fine. So if I do that and curl pipe to sudo bash, I trust my colleagues. So that's the latest version of sift. And I also want the latest version of gripe, which is here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Bop. And do the same thing here. And so what we will get is in user local bin, the latest binary for both of those. Hello, Big Pod. How are you doing? Hello, Ian. Hello, Alistair. Oh gosh, sorry. I need to catch up. Nate says, I'm doing great. Thank you. Good, good. You needed some more Popey. Good. How is everyone? Hello, Ian and Alistair and Big Pod. Wait, you work at Anchor now? Yes, I have worked there for 4 months. So now we should have a sift binary and a gripe binary, which is awesome. And sift is definitely version 1.9 and gripe is definitely version 0.73.3. Right, so if I run sift scan, can I do localhost? Will it accept a pod? Let's read the help. Podman localhost your image. So if I do podman image list, and then sift scan, can I do just that? Will it know? Or will it go looking for Docker? Yeah. I need to, yeah, it's assuming Docker. So if I do podman : podman not available, no host address. How, what? Why? How do you do it? I've never used sift with podman. I've only ever used it with, explicit user podman. Oh, am I not running a podman daemon? I need to start the socket. Yeah, this makes sense. It's coming together now. Sorry, I mean, I guess I read the documentation. Installation. Getting started. Podman, images, running a container, listing running containers, inspecting running container, view the logs, stopping the container. Socket activation. No, this does not look what? What? Oh. Is there like a... I wonder if there's a systemd unit in the package. Documentation about that stuff that I was looking for earlier. Look at that. There is a service. Should have a unit, at least it normally does. Systemctl status podman enabled. So just make sure to do dash user. I don't know where. I don't understand. So as I understand it, there is a podman service running. And I thought I would be able to Podman not available, no host address. Podman not available, no. I'm just gonna like act like a complete newbie and search for the error message. Oh look. I do hope this is not going to be one that I've replied to. It's 2 years ago, so probably not. Podman's configuration or environment variables. Do you have Podman installed? Yes, I have Podman. You're pretty sure issue running. Aha! SystemCTL Podman socket. Is that going to do it? Active, listening. Enabled, listening on Podman socket. Is there a thing where I can specify the path to the socket? Can't see it. Anyway, carry on. Start Podman's daemon. Oh, it's because it's user. You're checking the one from root, but you want the system to user service. Okay, that makes sense. So what are they doing? They're doing set an HTTP runtime, making a directory for home, and then enabling user for that Podman socket and then restarting it, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big expert on this, so I appreciate the help. So if I do systemctl status user Podman, and the same for the socket. Okay. Do I really want both though, or do I just want to? Or do I just want to enable it? Just start the socket. Start, user, Podman, socket. Does that sound right? Moriarty says, as a last resort, read the manual. Shut up. That's not the manual. Where's the... I mean, I did go all the way through getting started. And there is there a search here? And I thought it would docs. Let's try it. Active. Will Sift work now? Good Lord, it works. Thank you, Big Pod. Lots of learning going on today. So I've successfully enabled the user systemd unit. So that enables the socket. So now Sift can connect to it as a user and see the stream sprout container that I built earlier, which is great. And it's identified how many packages and files and stuff are inside this container. And they're all APKs, obviously, because it's an Alpine container. Pretty sure if we look at... is there a Docker file in here? Or is it a container file? It'll be small. So this builds on FFmpeg 7 Alpine. Nice. So that lists what's in there. So I can now see exactly what's inside this container that I'm running, which I could have looked at before I started running it, but you know, what the hell. And then I could spit that out as a CIF JSON file called stream sprout sp sbom.json. Oh, I've typed that wrong. sift JSON. What's wrong with that? Sift. Oh, it's equals. Idiot. So that's now going to spit out an SBOM. So I've now got I haven't got JQ installed, have I? Oh no. Ugh. What's the easy way we install JQ these days on... is it in the repository? It is, isn't it? Oh, I do have it. How come I already have it? Wow. Okay. Oh, don't you have to do like that or something? Yay! So there's my SBOM of everything that's inside. Ian says the name of the company he works for starts with SIFT. This is constantly confusing. So I have a similar challenge. We have 3 popular pieces of software, right? The 2 that I mentioned, SIFT and Gripe. And there's a third one called Grant. And Gripe and Grant, and SIFT, I keep coming out with Grift instead of Grant and Gripe. And when I want to say SIFT, because these 2 start with GR, I'll start that one and say Grift. And I have to stop myself from calling our excellent piece of software a Grift. Whoopsie. Anyway, so now I should be able to run Gripe on that SBOM. And this will tell us if there are any security vulnerabilities in it. Oh, I should install Grant while I'm, because I haven't installed that. Grant is relatively new. It's only been out a few months, but it is quite nice. Whoa! Yeah, let's come back to that. So, yeah, inside this container, there are like a ton of packages, some of which have critical vulnerabilities. They might not be a problem. Like sometimes the package maintainer has done something which mitigates. The upstream might say this is critical, but if you took the source code of BusyBox and built it and just ran it, then it would probably be susceptible to this. But maybe in the context of the way it's packaged, it isn't. I don't know. I haven't investigated these, but it's quite interesting to see what's inside a container. And then go looking at some of these. Yeah. Anyway, the other one was Grant, which I will install as well. That's a thing I should have done earlier. Sudo. Moriarty is my previous employer was CGI. No, not like in the movies. No, not like in the web servers. Interesting. Someone from CGI came to my son's college recently as part of a recruitment thing. For people leaving, doing A-levels and going on to university, to encourage them to apply to CGI for apprenticeship, where you do 1 day a week at university and 4 days a week at work for this company, CGI, who, if you Google them, they're as far as I can tell, prestigious like security company who have contracts with governments and important people. Anyway, he said the guy from CGI gave the best presentation of all the presentations from all the recruiters and all the people, trying to get them to do whatever after A-levels. He said the CGI guy. Yeah, he said he gave good presentation. So, yeah, well done, CGI guy. Thanks, Ian. I'll see you later. Get back to shampooing the carpets. Wow. Steady. So if I run Grant instead of Gripe this time, what it will do is look through the SBOM. No. What is it? It's grant. Oh, God. That's not right. It's grant check. That's it. Grant check. Stream sprout. It's a bit slow over SSH. That's my excuse. My brain is a bit slow over SSH. And that checks all the licenses. Haha. So, yeah, the idea of this is you can say, do a check and say, I only want things with a particular license, or I want to block packages that are licensed under a particular license. For example, if you're not a fan of GPL or something, or your organization is not a fan of GPL or whatever, you can use grant to filter the output here. And at the moment, it denies everything, which is why the check has failed. You have to explicitly say what you want to allow. There's an example in the, a nice example in the README where it shows only OSI licenses, yeah. So --OSI approved. So if I do that same thing, but instead do --OSI approved. There you go. Not OSI OpenSSL license. News to me. I did not know that. So yeah, that's good. I need to update my to-do list. I have run sift and gripe and grant. And I've run those against the image just to prove that I've made it successfully and it works. We're getting towards the end of my list here. Install QuickMU. I really want to put QuickMU on here. And so, how does Martin recommend we install QuickMU these days? QuickMU. Where's the install instructions? I think there's just a deb as featured on Linux Matters. Quick start. Where's the... Once quick start is installed, let's tell me how to install it. Arch Debian Ubuntu. We're going to use a PPA. A high quality, trustworthy PPA from that man, Wimpy. Yep. Do it with the dodgy key. There are a few people rotating on the project that were doing, this is Moriarty speaking on Twitch, but a few people rotating on the project that were doing degree and industry placement. It definitely was win-win. CGI is does IT outsourcing, contracting, consulting, but cybersecurity is a good chunk of it. It's good to know. Yeah, he was really impressed. Really, really impressed. Not just like the presentation, but it actually sounded like an interesting thing. Yeah. Big Pod says this could be useful for me to ban GPL3 in my life as much as possible. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it's there for, is to allow organizations and projects. Like you can, there's also a, I don't think we've got a grant action. Have we got a grant action? So there's SBOM action. So you can, if you put your stuff on GitHub, you can add this. Oh, it's easier to just view it on the marketplace. You can add this to your GitHub actions, and it will generate an SBOM, like that SBOM file, that JSON SBOM in a standard format. There's loads of formats. And then you could run gripe against it and show a list of vulnerabilities, and you could run grant against it and list all the licenses, and if it fails, you could make the GitHub action fail on that, if that action fails. So then you could say, you know, make it so that the release of a piece of software doesn't happen if there a particular license or set of licenses or whatever rules you define are in that container or in that package to block the release, which, you know, I'm sure some people do. They certainly do. So I'm installing QuickEmu. Yay! Now I'm going to create a folder for all my VMs, and I want to install Windows 10 on this machine. So I'm going to go quick get Windows 10. Excellent. I'll leave that chugging away. So many S1 formats. Yeah, it is wild, isn't it? You should create another one. Install QuickEmu. Did I install Glow? Yeah, I did. It was a snap, and I installed it. Sweet. I should have made this. Let's kill that and do it again in Bio. Have I got a Biobu installed on here? No. Oh man, I should have done that. I love Biobu. I'm pretty pleased with how I'm doing with my to-do list. That's pretty good. I think we can classify the T450 as spruced. Run by Obu. There we go. Lovely jubbly. That's all good. Right. So, is it hush login to get rid of this nonsense? Is it that? Yes. Good. Much better. So, I should make a note of that before I forget. I should do that on all my machines. Nobody needs that giant boilerplate nonsense. Right, I was in VMs, wasn't I? Now here's a test. Does quick get resume? If it starts from about here, then yes it does. If it doesn't start from about here, then no it doesn't. It does. It started from about here, which I think is fair. Good. Okay, what was the other thing I was going to do? I was going to clone quick test. I should put my SSH key from here on GitHub. I don't really want to generate an SSH key while everyone's looking. So I'm going to do that with the screen off. Actually, what I'll do is I'll let you see. That. There you go. That's my beautiful ThinkPad. So I'm going to generate an SSH key. I'm pretty certain you can't see this. So I can't even remember how you do it. Key generate? Is it SSH hyphen keygen? That's it. Okay, so now I should be able to go to GitHub, and I'm going to go to GitHub and then modify my security settings and add this machine to my SSH keys. What is it you add? You add the pub, don't you? Precise pad. And then I just paste in this. Oh, I've got to re-authenticate with GitHub because I'm doing something cheeky by adding a key in, which is fair. Some random, oh no, that's the wrong thing. Some random person adding SSH keys to my GitHub account. Done. Right, so now that I've done that, that was vitally important. I'll let you see the screen again. No, I won't. Bear with me. There. Now I'll show the screen. Right, so in source, Wimpy's World, is it really? Yeah, it is. I'm going to do a clone of quick test. Nope, not that. Oh, it's easier to just go like that. Quick test. What? Oh, it's in quick MU project, isn't it? Yes, so let's do this and hopefully this will work. It's in Quick ME projects. I need to change the folder. Git clone. Should ask me for this. Great success. Can we introduce you to our Lord and Savior Ansible NixOS? Yeah, I know. I know. The fact that I've done all of this, and if I'd used but I don't do this very often. That's my excuse. I know if you do it twice or more, you should automate it. But I have never used Podman before, so that wouldn't be on any config. That would be new. The bit that's common is this, I guess, and that, and that, and that, and that. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I just don't see myself using Ansible much, but yeah, I totally understand why you would say that. It hurts that you don't trust us. Yeah, well, tough. Right, so quick test is this thing that I threw together and needs a rewrite, really. So the idea behind this is automate testing of Linux installs. And it works, but the thing that needs the rewrite, I think, is the way the tests are laid out. Have I got the tree command? I do. So immediately you can see this is a bit of a mess, right? So the test cases are broken down by distro, version, and then there's a file with the localized texts. And then these are the scripts that actually do the tests. And if I take the simplest one, do you know, I've completely forgotten how to do this now. So if I do quick test and then list tests, and this is basically going through that folder and finding all the files. You know, this is just the directory structure, this, and then, so if I do quick test and then the test I want to run, like test boot to login, and I'm going to do Alpine. And there's an option. Hang on, let's do that again. Hang on. There's an option for don't pop a window up. Yeah. Quick emu display none. So if I do that, because I'm SSH'd into the laptop and the laptop's over here, so if I do quick test boot to login, Alpine 3.19, and set that equals none when it launches. Does it work? Oh. What? Okay. FFmpeg is a dependency because as it tests the VM, it takes screenshots, and then at the very end it concatenates all those screenshots together and makes a video, and it needs FFmpeg. Oh my god. Did I write any docs for this thing where I said what the dependencies were? Oh man. Well, partially. Oh, there we go. That's what we need. It's because I've never run it on this machine before. There we go. Image magic as well. BigPod suggests uBlue instead of, so over on Twitch we've got Team Ansible and NixOS, and on YouTube we've got Team uBlue. Yeah. Right, let's try it again. Okay. So this is now doing quick get to download the Alpine image. Then it's going to launch quick emu, but without a graphical display. And then it's waiting for certain texts on the screen. And then once that text appears, it waits a few seconds, takes a screenshot, and so on and so on and so on. Then types things into the screen. So this is it typing various keys just to show that, you know, it's possible to interact with this VM. And test passed. Now, what you don't see is on the laptop, I'll show you. It popped up a notification. You can see up the top there. It says it passed. So, you know, you can leave this running in the background and have it running tests, and then get a notification when when the test finishes, which is cool. And it also pops up a folder using your file manager, which is where the log is. And if we open the log in something, oh god, don't open it in LibreOffice Writer. Text editor should be fine. Could not open file. You do not have permission to open the file. Lies, 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 lies. This file is on my local disk. What on earth? So yeah, this is basically the log that you saw on the screen just now. It's exactly the same output, just so you can see what it does. And then it also has a video file, which is, this is what you would see if you were booting Alpine, 3.19. It waits a few seconds, then logs in. And these are just screenshots chained together. It's not actually a video. I mean, this is a video, obviously, but it's just a bunch of screenshots chained together. And that's where it was typing loads of stuff. And that's it. That's all it does. The video is really just there so you could like scan forward or backward, and you don't have a folder full of images. You have one file that you could like scrub backwards or forwards through if your video player allowed you to do that. And so you could just like go, oh yeah, that looks like it works. I can see what happened there. And obviously that's a very basic example. A more comprehensive example is if I run one here, actually directly on the laptop. I need to set my terminal font, or I need to switch to a better terminal. So if we go into quick test and do quick test ls, make this big, and I do quick test, let's do a 2404 clean install, entire disk clean install with defaults. Ubuntu 2404. Right. So that's going to go and download Ubuntu 2404 and then go through the installer. The problem is, like, I'll leave that running because that's going to take ages. If we go back here and I show you that file, in the test cases, Ubuntu 2404. Which one was it I did? Test install entire disk with defaults. Test. That one. Sorry, this is me switching between Mac and Linux. And I just press Control-C to copy and paste. So the way I structured this was a bunch of functions like this description here, which gets echoed if you ask for a description of a test. And then there are some other predefined names of functions, test setup. These are just shell scripts, right? test setup, and this is where we set some environment variables, not environment variables, well, they are technically all environment variables, a username and password, and then the actual tests themselves. But the name of this file is test install entire disk with defaults, right? And if you look for that name in here, that's actually the name of the master function that then calls all of the steps of the test. And so in here, there are functions called, test boot to grub, test initial load, all of the tests that go through doing an install of Ubuntu. But the problem, well, one of the problems with this structure, it's simple in that it's literally just a shell script. It's not like written in some obscure language. Okay, modulo bash is an obscure language. But like the language here is a bunch of functions that wait for certain pieces of text to be on the screen and then punch keys. That's what it does. That's all it does. It just looks at the screen for a piece of text, and if it sees that text, we've got onto the install screen, I need to press these buttons. I need to press tab or shift tab to go backwards. I need to type something. I need to press enter. So somewhere down here there'll be a bit where you log in, and there'll be the username that you have to put in. Create your account. Right. So we wait for, in this section here, we wait for the screen that has create your account. Now, where does this come from? This text installation comes from the little internationalization file. I18N EN US. So in here, no, I don't want to search my laptop. Is a string, create your account. The reason I did this is so that we can have a file for each language. So everyone just needs to write these, whatever the text is translated, which could be pulled from the repository because we already know what these texts are in each language. So this could be generated. All of these words that are on screen, we know. But I wrote this as a sample, right? And so all it does is just literally go through everything here, and every time it does wait for, it takes a screenshot. So all of these are triggering screenshots to be taken during the test. And I need to figure out, I don't know, that, like I said, part of the problem is there's a lot of duplication here. There's a bug report filed about this. Somewhere. Oh, there we go. Stuart. So, since quick test command looks like that, this seems to imply that test and what they run are separate from one another. That is, it looks like you specify a test, an OS, and a version. A quick test runs that on that OS. So I might decide to run it on Fedora 18 or Ubuntu 12.10 or something, and they might try and run that, and it will fail. And it will fail because that file doesn't exist in that subfolder of that folder. So it is a bit of a mess. And I've kind of been putting off looking at this for a couple of months, as you can see. I need to figure out a better way to do this. That folder pop-up is kind of annoying when you're making a test. You get thousands of windows. Yes. Yeah. I mean, you can disable it. You can disable the pop-up. Either edit the script or just set the environment variable. Where is it? In the source. I did make all of the things that felt annoying as much as possible, like that. So if you do qt notify false before you run quick test, hello McPhail, then it will not do the pop-up. And there's another one for the... Is there? Did I put another one for the file manager window? Oh my gosh, open results, there we go. Whew. Yes, I did. And if you set that one to false, then also it will not display that thing. So there are some settings in there that you can fiddle with. But I think Stuart's right here, that and Alistair's comments as well about restructuring this. So the example he gives is just point to the file. This makes it clear these are Ubuntu tests, and within those there are 2404 tests, and within them there's that test. Even though there isn't actually a file system visible with the tests. So yes, the existence of this does not imply that this folder exists and there will be a test in there. I think this might be right. I think I need to also potentially up at this level and at this level there could be scripts with reusable parts in, because at the moment it's all within the script. So we've got like all of this internationalization stuff, and where was the... Did I not have the test open? Oh, I did. There it is. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. Oh, my keyboard. No, 2404 test install entire list for defaults. So yeah, there's like this bit is the same across lots of them. Like you're going to have a username and a password. That does not need to be in here. That should be further up the tree, because whenever you're installing Linux, you're generally going to have a username and password. You can override it in here, like, and if it's sourced the files all the way down, I'm still thinking it's a bunch of shell scripts. It sources the files down the tree, and the final one is the test itself. The test could override some of this stuff. But this, like waiting for grub, I'm pretty confident that's going to be the same for all of the Ubuntu flavors. I don't think any of the Ubuntu flavors don't show grub. And what does it look for? I think it just looks for the word grub. Like literally. Yeah, GNU grub. Like when you boot Linux. So I think like there's a lot of deduplication to be done. Also, like this whole wait for text thing is a bit shonky. Like this 10 and 5, if we go and look at the function, cute wait for text. By the way, update over on the ThinkPad, the emulator has finally finished downloading, and it's booted up, and it's now waiting for GNU grub on the screen. And this is a prime example of what it does. It's going to try 10 times, the 1 of 10. This is going to try 1 of 10 times to look for GNU grub. It saw it on the first occasion, right? And so that's this bit up here, 10 times. It's going to wait, was it 5 seconds? Was it 5 times? Yeah, it's 5 seconds. So that's the number of times this is going to try. And that is, oh, you can't see this. Sorry. This is the number of times it's going to try. and this is the number of seconds. And so again, down here, waiting for the installation screen, it's going to try 10 times, and every time around that loop, it's going to wait 30 seconds before trying again. Because you just don't know how long it's going to be, because people have got different speed machines. Like I've tested this on that ThinkPad behind me, which has got tons of cores, tons of RAM, massively fast SSD. But this ThinkPad here is somewhat more crusty. And so it takes a few more goes round. Now, it's horrible. Like, it's going to sit here and wait. Like, so it waits for welcome to Ubuntu, which is the text at the top of the window. You can't really see this very well, so I'm going to make this bigger. Like that. Okay, so the text at the top says welcome to Ubuntu. And it waits for that for 30 seconds, and then there's this delay. Now, it could keep poking the VM and saying, show me, take a screenshot, take a screenshot, take a screenshot. It could do it like every second and like keep looking, but that slows down the machine as well. Every time you poke the VM and say, give me a screenshot, it slows down the process. So, you know, it could end up being faster because it just pokes 10 times, sees the screenshot, and then moves on. Oh, I don't know if I factored this in. Oh, crud. Yeah. So this test is broken because the installer has a dialogue that sometimes appears. I think maybe I fixed this in one of the others. It's possible. But that's another thing. Like if I were to fix something in this test, I then got to re-implement that in all the others. Like, so yeah, this needs a bit of thought. What if you make a Spice client rather than using the QEMU monitor? That should make it way faster. Make it a Spice client. Hang on, I'll get back to that question. So yeah, the test failed because it went round like 10 times waiting for that installer, and because the thing popped up and said, oh, there's an update, it failed. If you run the test with the network disconnected, that doesn't appear and the test goes through fine. And so because it's like, I don't know, it's not saying it's not deterministic because, well, it is not deterministic because the network can affect how the test runs. But we need to cater for that. So yeah. So you're saying you probably have to port it to a language that isn't Bash, yeah. So yes, the overriding like requirement I always wanted for this was like simplicity, that people could write tests. Now it's already gone beyond that, really. I mean, it's not that hard, you know, it's a shell script, but I could certainly make it easier. And if there was deduplication, so there was very little that you had to do in each test because some of it was reused from further up the tree. Like if you have like 3 different flavors and they all use calamares, then there's a lot of duplication there. Or if you've got 3 different flavors that all use ubiquity or subiquity, then there's duplication there. And the bit of code that detects that your network, the subiquity needs an update, it's going to be common across all the ones that use subiquity. So there's a lot of duplication there, potentially. Or potential deduplication that can be done. The other thing I don't really want to, I'm quite pleased that I'm not installing anything in the VM. It's always, my overriding thing with this is don't have anything required inside the VM. Like there's never, you don't have to install like a VirtualBox driver or something. And that's what enables it to run in CI, because you can use any VM and there will be no requirement, because all this does is tell QEMU, poke these buttons, press these buttons on the keyboard and take a screenshot, and that's all it does. It's not hugely reliable. I mean, when you get it working, it does work. Like, if I do it without the network, I think I've got one in there that's like, test with no network. But these are the results you get. You get the log file of what happened, and then all the images, and then you can see when it went wrong, because if you open one of these images, you can see like, okay, so we got to Grub, and then after a while we got Welcome to Ubuntu, and then we go starting to progress through the installer. And then what you'll find is if you look at the screenshots are numbered, so they go in sequence. So it says screenshot number, just an incrementing number, and then the test name. And you can see there we're getting like a whole bunch, and all the screenshots, like the last one is this one. So there's like 20 of that, or 10 of that, or whatever it is. And so you can see the problem, because if you look at 25, the text that it was looking for in that test, in all of those final screenshots, it was looking for the install Ubuntu, the button that you go and start the installer. Anyway, it needs some work. I think my first step is do what Stuart suggested and refactor the location and just focus on getting one test working. Well, I mean, ideally, what I want to do is have like two tests working, like Ubuntu and Ubuntu Mate, because that's two tests that both use Subiquity, and so there will be duplication. And so I can test that duplication between two. What other flavors are there? Like Kubuntu is a good one because it's completely different. It's Calamares. I think I've got a Kubuntu one in here. And I'll show you. It flies through. If nothing has broken since I last did this. Let's try. Excuse me. It's a bit difficult because I've got like a second keyboard over it. If I look at the tests, there's one for Kubuntu, Daily Live. Oh, well, this is going to fail. I guess, because Daily Live back... Kubuntu, Daily Live. Test install Calamares defaults. 2410. Oh, maybe it will work then, because 2410 is the Daily Live. Now, I haven't tested this since whatever the date stamp is on that file. So, probably... No, that's not right. Well, let's try it. What's the format of this? See, now I'm looking at Stuart's bug report. He's right. Like, the format of this is bonkers. So if I do that one, and then what is it? It's confusing for me, and I don't even know what I'm doing. Daily Live. Right, I'll leave that run chugging away because QuickGet is going to have to download the. What? Okay, yeah, that's going to take a while. So I'm going to make some notes for what I can look at. Oh my God. Not redundancy, deduplicate. Maybe the first step should be the make gather screenshots run on anything. Could not get it to recognize the text. Yeah. I did some work a while back to try and get Tesseract. Which version of Ubuntu couldn't get it to recognize the text? I think there's a Ubuntu one. I have a feeling that's because, or a factor is, yes, color scheme. Alistair's saying grey on grey is not great. But Tesseract has a ton of options for like fiddling with the way it does the OCR. Improve Tesseract OCR options. That's investigate that. That's I think focus on 2 Ubiquity based installs, Ubuntu and Ubuntu Mate. What installer does Ubuntu use? Yeah. So, as I understand it, Tesseract, you can train your own model with Tesseract, and you can feed it images and tell it what's on them, and it makes a better model. I don't know if it needs a Ubuntu model as well as the others. But the other thing I was going to say about Ubuntu is it doesn't start in like a high res. It starts at like 800 by 600 or something in my VM anyway. And there was another thing. The font is not great. Yeah, it doesn't handle sparse text very well. It is a bit weird. What installer does Ubuntu use? Is it Ubiquity or Calamares or something else? I should know this. Yeah. So the other thing I tried doing was carving the screen up and getting it to look for words only within particular zones on the screen. So like give it a bit of the screen that you think the title bar will be in, which is hard because like this is a 1080p screen, and so it will be within the top like 15 to 30% of the screen. If someone's got high DPI, then it might be in the middle. It's actually quite hard. Uses Ubiquity, okay. Focus on 2 Ubiquity ones first, and 2 Calamares. This feels like it could be an entire live stream on its own. There was something else I was going to suggest to do. Disable annoying pop-ups by default, like file manager and notifications. Maybe that's just a minor nice to have. I think this and this, just focusing on a couple of them and not trying to get it to run on everything, is a good first start. Because like just doing it on 2404, that release is going to be around for a long time, is a good one to try. And then move to the daily live ones after, I think. Oh, Hello, how are you doing? I see a friendly face over in Twitch. Very kind of you to join us, Yannick, and to subscribe as well. Thank you very much. Well, we've done a bit of a review, but we haven't done a rewrite. Rewrite needs more work. And we did a bit of chat. Yeah, I appreciate all the suggestions, Alistair. I still think like I can quickly iterate on a shell script and get it to a point where it basically works. The thing I was chatting with Martin about the other day, when he made what's it called? His new thing, StreamSprout. I'm using it right now. By the way, it's still working. It's been running for how long now? How long have I been doing this? I can't tell. How long has this been running? Ages. When did I tweet about it? 2 hours, 10 minutes, according to YouTube. Okay, so StreamSprout has been running for 2 hours, 10 minutes, sending this stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Owncast. Seems to be working. Nice. Anyway, so going back to context, when Martin first started StreamSprout, he created this YAML configuration file that looked slightly different to this, but it looked like this. And he was using, I think, a YQ. And there's two different versions of YQ. There's one that it's like Python and one that's Rust or something. Anyway, it got a bit confusing. And I said to him, well, if you want to remove the external dependency, why don't you interpret the YAML, the YAML in Bash? And so he's actually in StreamSprout itself. It does some YAML parsing in here. Looks horrific, right? I think I sent him this link. We were sat having coffee. I think he was having breakfast and I was having coffee. And I was like, well, you know, you could parse it directly in the shell. And after he'd done that and successfully done it, there are some gotchas with this. Like stream keys, there's certain characters stream keys can't have in them. And it breaks this parsing a little bit, which is a bit horrible. But you can't have like colons and hashes and stuff. And it got me wondering whether the test scripts should be YAML or something more programmatic and not like gigantic shell scripts. I don't know. Yes, or you could just stop using Bash. So the reason, yeah, okay, well, what am I going to do? Go and learn Python? Yeah, okay, I could do that. Yeah. Part of the reason was to just have no dependencies and just like, but I'm already dependent upon Bash and Tesseract and FFmpeg and, you know, other stuff. Yeah, I could. I'm not a super competent, see you later, Marion. I'm not a super competent programmer. That's why I use Bash. It's as simple as that. Yeah, it might be nicer to use something else, for sure. I'm not 100% sure what the value that gets us. Like, okay, it would make interpreting the YAMLs and stuff easy because there's libraries to do that. I get it, right? But I'm not actually using any YAML or anything at the moment. I do see how it might be nicer to do that. Okay, look, I'll add it to the list. Like, Python? The only problem I have with Python is like having to spin up virtual environments for all the dependencies and all that. Yeah, even with Python, a YAML pass would be an external dependency. Yeah. Like, I know the the modern answer is, oh, you should rewrite it in Go or Rust or something, and then you just get a single binary, and all the dependencies are bundled in, and it's just a single binary. And oh man. I mean, what is this doing? There's not a lot that it's really doing that couldn't be done with the Kubuntu installers just started, by the way. We can watch that while I deliberate about trying to rewrite this thing in Go. I'm not using Rust. Right, so this is Kubuntu. Let's see if that works. Python has TOML built in. You could use ini files and just grep them. Yeah. Yeah. Now, listen here, Yannick. Rewriting in Node.js is not, like, funny. Like, what is it actually doing? Like, look at the source code, right? Loads of environment variables. The main loop of this thing is... Holy shit, where is the main loop? Like, literally just running the test case. So it wouldn't be doing that. The main loop would be reading in all of the YAML, TOML, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And then just going through each one in turn. Like, and each one of those would be a type of step. And the type of step would be a wait for a piece of text, put some text into the keyboard, or press a particular area on the screen with a mouse, with a pointer, right? All of this stuff, like faff, like none of this is all faff, right? A lot of this, the actual meat of the thing is, it launches the test case. Writing log files is basic. Keyboard mapping, the texts. Modern languages do internationalization. Why are you convincing me to write this in another language? You are, aren't you? And it's working. Getting the socket is just like concatenating a path. There's nothing there. What's this? Launching QuickEmu. Well, that's just like spawning another process and getting the PID from a file. Checking the existence of a compressed disk image and deciding what to do. Oh, man. Does Go have bindings for Tesseract? I know you can't see, I'm searching stuff. Why don't you just separate all of the types of steps in Bash and show fragments and source wherever needed, and build templates for each installer that could be sourced from Bash as well. Clean shutdown bug, yeah. So while that installer is running, Yannick has suggested something in Flutter that already exists. What? Flutium? Flutium? How do you pronounce that? Flutium? Is that how you pronounce it? Well, I guess that is the user flow testing tool for Flutter. The tricky thing is, a lot of these are make assumptions about what. Yeah. So this goes back to what Alistair was saying, is like a thing that wraps a Spice client, like that actually has the Spice client in it, and it like injects the press this, press that type things, capture screenshots. Yeah. Yes, Yannick. I could see why this kind of. And so you're saying there are tests, are there? Are there examples in here? Flows? They call them flows. Okay, so this kind of thing. Yeah, I can see the benefit of this kind of thing. Yeah, so. By the way, the installer for Ubuntu finished and worked successfully. So some of the tests work, like that one works. Yeah. Look at that. It actually, you know. It is a bit jank. The whole thing about. So yeah, that's good. Look, it works. It works. It works. That worked. On that occasion, that distro worked. The thing that does the key presses is janky as all hell, and the thing that takes screenshots is janky as all hell as well. The thing I like about the way we're using QuickEmu is because I'm injecting key presses and capturing screenshots, I don't need a desktop app or anything. It's just doing it all in the background. Yeah. Okay. I need to think more about this. Do I want to maintain this as a gigantic shell script that nobody else is likely to contribute to, or something that multiple people might actually be interested in helping with? These are very good thoughts. So I'm going to put that up here as a thought. I think as Yannick says in on Twitch, he's saying, like we said, if it's just a simple that flow, where did that guy there? This kind of stuff. This is a complex one. Okay. So yeah, having things like, also the wording is quite nice, like expect visible. I imagine that means expect there's a piece of visible text on the screen, Press on, this kind of stuff is yeah, I was optimistic there. Yeah, there's all kinds of other issues with this. I could see why, people say, oh, you should just use OBS, the OpenSUSE test thing. But that is like the other end of complicated. Like I wanted this to be easy to stand up. And if it's as easy as, as we've done here, curl pipe to bash to get the binary, and it's a single binary, and then you just run it with your YAMLs and you're done. Easy to use was the overriding thing, and I failed on that because I made it all too complicated, I think. Yeah. Yes, so like some of the other tools have benefits in that they can introspect what's inside the VM. I'm like standing on the outside of a shop, like looking at the thing, peering in and trying to like squint and see what's on inside the shop, and then getting the remote hands to go and like get the right thing. You know, like when you go to a petrol station at nighttime and you're like, no, I want that one, get that one, and shouting at the guy. And it's very difficult to see, and it's also, difficult to communicate to the other person what you want. We don't have like introspection. We just have a picture, but I believe we should be able to pick the text out. Like, because literally we're only ever picking out 2 or 3 lines of text each time. Like if you look at that Kubuntu one, like we're picking out welcome to the Kubuntu installer. This program will ask you questions. If you see that, press a button. If you see this, press a button. Like, it's a list of texts. Okay, we would make the YAML simpler. Moriarty says there's a pure bash YAML parser. It's 2.5 thousand lines of code. Good Lord. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure this is what I really want. Yeah, I thought I could improve Tesseract with a bit of training. On document images, but I suspect it's been trained on like documents and not screens. It's the text detection, you think? Yeah. But it is, I don't know, it is trained on like documents and not screenshots. This needs more thought. I think it might need just a complete reboot. I need to do a prototype and figure out if I can do this. See you later, Yannick. Thank you for the suggestions. I feel kind of a bit dejected because of what I put into this, but I think it could be a learning exercise. When I was chatting to Martin about StreamSprout last week, he said he considers it basically done. It took him a few days and he threw together a shell script, and that's really all quick test was. It took me a few days to throw together a shell script, but he considers it basically done. And I wanted to get to the place with quick test where it was basically done, as in it could work. But yeah, I need to go away and have a think about this. The tests at least are a never-ending job. Yeah, for sure. And if the goal is to make it so that tests can be run regularly and reliably, and people can manually like create their own tests very easily, I think is something to aim for. And yeah, I think you're right. Probably shell script is probably not the right thing to do. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap up because it's been like 2.5 hours and it's almost time for me to go make some food. So I am super grateful for everyone helping me test this stream software, and Owncast is still running. So I appreciate this. I am going to probably come back tomorrow with a work-related stream in the morning. But I'm going to drive home from the office and have a good think about this. I'll do a bit of research. I appreciate everyone coming and appreciate all the chat and the feedback. It's really, really helpful. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day, and hopefully when I press the stop streaming button, it will stop streaming and everything will be fine. And we won't get video difficulties. Take care, everyone. Have a good week. I'll see you all later. See you later.